Hi, I'm back with you again. Ingrid Griffith. Ever heard the name? Well, she's from the United States of America, but she's Guyanese. And Ingrid has been doing a show called Demerara Gold. I ran into Ingrid as well and met with her and had her tell me about. She's doing a one-man show, and I asked her to tell me how she really started and what really happened, how she got around doing this. She appeared here in the UK, and this is what she had to say. Check it out.
Hi, nice to be here. And I'm excited to be in the UK and be part of the Guyana Folk Fest celebration. I am an actress and a writer, among other things, teacher, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just really into the arts, and I'm very lucky and grateful to be doing all the things that I love to do. I recently wrote a one-woman show. It was premiered last July 2014 in New York. And since then, I've been touring it. I've been throughout the States, colleges, high schools, organizations have booked the show, usually Guyanese organizations and hopefully some other organizations as well. I was in Guyana in 2015, January 2015. I toured the show. I was at the Theatre Guild, National Cultural Center, and some high schools in Mackenzie and Linden, and also in Berbice. It was I was there for about a week and a half, and it was very exciting to be back home because I left when I was 12, and many years ago. And hadn't been back until 2011 with cousins for a reunion. And so 2015 in January was really exciting to be actually performing in Guyana, something I never even dreamed of when I was in Guyana. So this was very exciting, and it was well received. I had a great time in Guyana. It felt like home. Home is it's totally different than America home or UK home. Home is real home. So now I'm here doing it at the Guyana Folk Festival. I'm planning to do two other shows. I did a show last Friday in Wembley, and now I'm going to be doing two shows one in Tooting and one in Tuttingham. 29th of May, which is Friday, in Tooting, or Tooting, I think. Tooting. And on the 31st in Tuttingham at the Bernie Grant Arts Center. So I am very, very excited to be here.
What made you get into the whole poetry and theater work? Actually? What was the inspiration?
I think wanting to be heard. I think wanting to own my voice, and I thought it was it wasn't safe. I felt it wasn't safe to do so as myself, and I think having to be, play different characters, it just felt totally safe to be whatever I wanted to be. And I'm very observant, always as a child. And so there's so much I've seen that I would have inside that I felt, and it's not like, it wasn't really conscious, but it's like when I saw a chance as a young adult to take an acting class, I was like, absolutely. And of course it was challenging because yes, now I'm finally free, and now you can be totally whatever you want to be, but you have to be fully it. There's no like looking over the shoulder, am I okay, is this okay? And as I kept going, as I kept taking classes, I realized this is exactly what I want to be doing. And it was very liberating, and I just grew, and I grew as a person, and also started, as I said initially, finding my voice. I really have a lot more to say and had things to say then that wasn't being heard. I didn't think I thought. I think it has to do with the culture, the fact that I was from Guyana, came to America. There's something about that, the difference that shakes you a little bit, or shook me. And that kind of stifled my voice for a while. Also, when you see my story, you'll also know why. That voice was sort of stifled for some time.
Leaving Guyana to the United States of America, how did it affect you? What really was that the part of inspire you to get into what you're doing now?
I think so, and I don't think it was conscious when I was getting into it. But looking back, yes, I think I was definitely not, definitely didn't fit in. Definitely felt like an outsider on a lot of levels. The way I talked, for sure, the accent, the way I dressed, the way I was brought up. I was just very reserved, and with what they were doing, what kids were doing in my class or in the bus. So I was like, oh my God, there's no way. So that was like ingrained in me, a certain way of being. So it was not something I could switch gears and do. I didn't even want to do it. It wasn't attractive to me how my school friends or my peers were behaving or talking or dressing, but then that made me become the outsider. And I didn't want to be the outsider, not at 12 and 13. So it was like this kind of very uncomfortable place I was in. Like, I couldn't be them because it just wasn't in me, but I wanted to be friends. And I had lots of friends in Guyana. I was very, I was the busybody and talking out the window, and my grandma was saying, who are you talking to? Like, who else did you know? That kind of thing. So that kind of changed. And it changed just at a weird time, too, because when you're a teenager, 12, 13, that's when you want to have a lot of friends. That's when you want to fit in. And that's the time I came to America. And it's, on a lot of levels, it just didn't feel right.
Two things before we go.
Yes.
You recently visited Guyana. How did that affect you? And what was the outcome? Of your visit?
Yes, I loved visiting Guyana. It felt like home. I hadn't been back in a while. It felt totally comfortable. I thought the audience might be like, yeah, so who cares? This is my story too. I'm bored. I have the story I can tell. They were totally into the story. Youngsters, high school kids, adults, everybody really appreciated the story. And yes, they were like, that's my story. I know this story. And I'm so glad that it's being heard. And I felt empowered. I actually felt great about, after I did the first show at the National Cultural Center, I said, I can do this anywhere. Because I felt love. I felt support on a real, genuine level. Like, this is their story, and they're saying, yeah, yes. And it was very, very empowering and solidifying in a lot of ways, because I have been really trying to do this story for some time. And I found the courage, and of course it takes years. It took 2 years to write, then I had to workshop it. So it was a process, and I'm glad that I stuck with it.
Finally, if anyone would like to reach you, how can they?
Info, I-N-F-O, at demeraragoldtheshow.com. That's the email address, info@demeraragoldtheshow. And the show's website is www.demeraragoldtheshow.com, www.demeraragoldtheshow.com. So I look forward to hearing from you.
Ingrid, it's been a pleasure talking with you too.
Thank you so much.
All the
Appreciate
best.
it. Thanks.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.